Hey, we've been married for over 17 years and want to share in this video some of the things we did to overcome our money problems in marriage. So what are some of the things you think we did to overcome some of our money issues early on in marriage?
Well, I would say the first thing we did was we decided that we were going to put everything together. So, for example, like I came into our marriage with some debt.
Yeah.
I had some school debt. You came into the marriage with some debt.
Yeah.
And right from the beginning, it's like we're starting off in the hole, you know,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of couples do. And instead of having like my debts, your debts, and my money, your money, I think that we just kind of knew that it was all one big lump of, you know, debt. And when we finally came to the point where we needed to address it, because honestly, we didn't address it for a while.
No,
we actually just added to it. We needed credit cards or credit lines to just kind of get through different things. And instead of actually addressing the debt, it was just a thing. It was like another person in the marriage, you know? It was just like a thing that was there.
Yeah.
But when we finally realized we needed to address it, we actually just looked at the whole picture as one thing together. And then we started to attack it together. Rather than saying, okay, I have my bank account and my issues with money, and you have your bank account. We just put it all together.
Yeah, we're very transparent. Like you weren't hiding anything, and I wasn't hiding anything, and we were open and honest, which I love. Like I remember even when we first got married, and we got gift cards given to us and stuff, and I wanted to buy like an extra expensive TV, and you were like a lot more conservative, I remember.
Yeah.
And so we got a small, and it was fine, right? We didn't need a bigger TV. And I also remember you were like, you know, sometimes when I would buy things that I shouldn't have, you know, I took it. I remember I actually returned something on eBay one time that I wasn't supposed to buy.
Yeah.
And, you know, even though that sucked, it hurt, I kind of sucked it up and just dealt with it, you know?
Yeah, and we all have our things that we want to get, even though we know we can't get them, we just want to get them anyway. And so it's not that, like, I didn't do that and he did that. It was, like, you know, both of us did that at different times.
Yeah.
Like for me, it may be clothing or like
the boots.
Just different things that maybe are important to me that I was like willing to go into debt for.
Yeah.
But after a while, we discovered we were like literally, I think, over 30 grand in debt.
Yeah.
And it was on things that we really, really didn't need to be in debt on. And you know, school debt was one of them, but a lot of the other stuff was just really things that were things we could have waited for, and we could have really figured out a plan to pay for cash. And looking back, we're just like, why did we do that? You know, it created a layer of pressure over us.
We were living, and we didn't know better yet, and we weren't focused. But what was so amazing was when we got a plan together, and we said, okay, we are going to get out of debt, and know that it's possible. And I remember we laser targeted on one thing. And then it was the next one. I remember the first one was your school debt, your school debt.
Yeah.
And when we did it, it was gone.
Yeah. It was, I think I had $2,400, which I know may not sound like a lot now, but at the time when, you know, you have nothing, $2,400 extra of just debt with, you know, extra interest of incurring every month. It was like it felt like I was bringing in this layer of like extra debt into our marriage. I really wanted to get rid of it. Yeah. And we put together a plan, and it was gone in 6 months. Yeah. Boom, just gone. Yeah. Because we created a plan. And so I think when you have a plan, then you can kind of actually attack it, and not just attack it individually, but attack it together.
Yeah.
So like he would make money that would go towards my school debt, or I would make money that would go towards his debts. It wasn't like you're on your own, bro.
Yeah, like go deal with that. No, it was like
it was like we are in this together, and we're gonna get through it together, and we're also gonna attack it together. So every dime I make is gonna be thrown at your debt. You know what I mean? Yeah. And really, that support is really, really important.
Yeah, and so I remember we went from like the smallest one, which is school, and then it was like to the car, and then it was eventually the mortgage.
Yeah. And it took years to get to that point. Yeah. But and also I think knowing, having a bit of a switch turnover in your minds that you can be out of debt. Like I felt like, I always kind of felt like debt was part of life. Yeah. So just the idea of like saying, I can pay off my car, it just felt like a weird thing I had to break through in my mind. Yeah. And once we did, and I remember when I was even we were going in together to pay off the last payment on the car. I remember the cash, you know, the lady at the bank was kind of like looking at us strange, like, you sure you want to pay this off kind of thing. It was like the weirdest thing, like nobody does this. Yeah. And And I remember walking away like, did that just happen? It felt like such a weird and cool experience.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Celebratory. And so, we've been doing this for a while now, and Melanie and I recently released a new book called From Red to Black. She did all the design and helped write it, and we put this together, and we're actually giving this book away for free, showing you our plan, step by step, how we paid off debt, but also how we built wealth and find real financial freedom. So this book is actually free. Just go to manifest.com / From Red to Black, or click the link below this video, and just cover shipping and handling, and we'll send this out to you, and we believe it'll really change your life.